Cancer, what's going on? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Cancer, this is going to be the astro forecast and tarot scope for you for October 2020. Like I've explained in all of the other videos I've done so far for this month, these videos are coming out a lot later than I had originally anticipated. Originally, I wanted to put these out between October 1st and October 3rd so that you guys could have all of this monthly information like at your disposal when the month started, you know? But unfortunately, things didn't turn out that way. I had started doing the videos. I did a couple of them and the videos were just not right. The energy was off. My energy was off. It was really difficult to get them done. It felt like a chore. Like normally I love doing this. It doesn't feel like a chore at all. But when I was doing these videos the first time, that's exactly how they felt. And I was like, I really don't understand why this is happening. And then I realized why. And I'm using this story as an example so you can see how astrology works in real life. So we have Mars retrograde in Aries, which happens to be square Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. If you're not aware, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in Capricorn is what's known as the Great Conjunction. All of these three heavy hitter planets are in the sign of Capricorn. They're all right next to each other. Their energies are mixing and mingling, and it's this cocktail of planets which is really responsible for a lot of the craziness that we're seeing in the world right now. A lot of this upheaval, a lot of this tension, a lot of this fighting, a lot of this transformation is really due in part to this great conjunction of Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in Capricorn. And when you throw Mars retrograde in the mix, what you get is this really frustrating, slow, and transformative environment. What do I mean by that? Mars is the planet of energy. It's the planet of physical energy needed to do things. It's the energy that's needed to start things. It's the initiator. It's the beginning. It's fiery. It's confident. It's just like out there. But when it's in retrograde, it's debilitated. So whereas Mars is typically a high energy planet, when it's retrograde, it's like slow and sluggish. Imagine like when you have the motivation to work out and you're physically working out, Mars is what gives you that energy. It gives you that energy to fight. It gives you that energy to move forward. And when it's in retrograde, it's like you don't have the motivation to go to the gym. You don't have the motivation to work out. If you work out, it feels like a chore. That's exactly what Mars retrograde is. And being that it's square to the Great Conjunction, depending on where it falls in your chart, it's like whatever you do, not only do you not have the energy to do it, but you're met with roadblocks and dead ends and obstacles and challenges in doing it. And that's exactly what happened with me with these videos. The way that this aspect is working out in my chart, it directly affects my business, meaning it directly affects Divine Feminine Works. So anything that I was doing was making me, not only was it a chore, but it was so hard to do. So anything that you're doing is going to require so much extra effort in order to get it done. And you may be feeling this wherever this is happening in your chart. And particularly for you, Cancer, this is happening between your 7th house of relationships and your 10th house of career. So you may be trying to get things done at work. You may be trying to just do your job. You may be trying to advance in your career, maybe change careers, but you've got this energy that's changing and that's sort of wonky and crazy in your relationship sector. So any sort of efforts that you're making in either sectors of your life, either of those sectors, it's like you feel like you have to exert so much more energy. Even just to have regular relationships in your life. Let's say you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a spouse. or even a business partner, you feel like making this relationship work is like a chore. Like you're really met with a lot of resistance. You're met with a lot of roadblocks, and it's just frustrating. But, you know, we're all going through this right now. I mean, not that it makes it any better, but again, it's just a transit. So these things do pass, but just know that whatever you're doing, you're going to have to exert 10 times more effort. So I wanted to give that story so you guys can see how astrology actually plays out in real life. So now let's get into your particular astrology for the month of October. We're already mid-month, so let's talk about what has already transpired since October began. So Cancer, we started out October. On the very first day of October, we had a full moon in the sign of Aries, and that is in your 10th house of career and public life. Full moons illuminate. Full moons can either show you the progress that you've made, or it can show you things that you've got to let go of, things that you have to release. They can also bring up things that have been hidden for a long time. So in your career sector, you probably started out the month maybe seeing a goal come to fruition. You may have seen things related to your career that you've got to let go of, that you've got to release. For some of you, that might have been releasing an actual job. You may have been, demoted, laid off, fired. There may be certain aspects of your career that maybe had to go. Maybe your responsibilities have changed. But that's pretty much how that full moon played out for you. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy. Shortly thereafter, on October 4th, we had Pluto going direct. And as I mentioned before, Pluto was part of that great conjunction in Capricorn. And Pluto is the last of those 3 planets to have gone direct. Jupiter went direct on September 12th. Saturn went direct on September 29th. And now Pluto has gone direct on October 4th. So it is all systems go. So whereas you feel like wherever the great conjunction is located in your chart, you may feel like 2020 has really put you to the test, especially in that particular area. So for you, Cancer, that is your 7th house of relationships. And you may feel like 2020 has put your relationships through the ringer. Like you have just been going through changes. You may have gained a new partner. You may have lost a new partner. You may have been trying to work on a current partnership, and it's just been grueling. But while those planets were retrograde, that was the time for you to reflect and reevaluate, because the energy of all 3 planets was like recalled. It was sort of reversed in a sense when they were retrograde. But now that all 3 planets are direct, it's all systems go. So things might even get a little crazier. You might experience a lot more upheaval. You might experience more power struggles. You might experience an ending or a beginning right now. Like it's really up in the air. Saturn and Jupiter represent like negative and positive, generally speaking. So good things may happen, bad things may happen. They may happen simultaneously. They may happen one after the other. And all of this is transforming your relationship sector in a really big way. So that was Pluto going direct in Capricorn. So brace yourselves, because it's only going to get a little more intense as we work our way through the rest of 2020. The rest of the year is going to be pretty intense. We're working our way into eclipse season. We have an eclipse in November. We have an eclipse in December. And eclipses are like wild energy. It's like wild card energy, and it's very intense and transformative in a way. So brace yourselves, because we've got a little more craziness to go before we can get to 2021, when things calm down finally. So moving right along, we get to this week, which is October 11th through October 17th. And I feel like this particular week in October is the most intense, and not necessarily intense in a bad way. I feel like it's very enlightening and illuminating for you, because not only do we have Mars square the great conjunction, we also have the Sun in Libra square the great conjunction as well. So we've got Mars on one end, we've got the Sun on the other, and then we have the great conjunction in the middle. So like I said before, with Mars retrograde square the great conjunction, it's like you don't have the motivation to do the work, and even when you do the work, you're met with opposition. On the other end of that, we've got the Sun, which is basically shining a light on this whole situation, which is why I'm saying you're going to be illuminated. It's like things are really going to come to the forefront of your thoughts, and you might be able to start making sense of things because the Sun is going to be shining so brightly on them. So that is what's going on throughout this week. So pay attention this week to what happens around you, and make sure that you actually start to like really think about things and really start to see things for how they're changing and transforming in your life. And this is all playing out in your relationship arena, Cancer. So take notice of what happens in your relationships this week. I think it'll give you a lot of enlightenment and will sort of take you from out of the dark into the lightness and into a better understanding of where you're headed, particularly with respect to your relationships. And then smack dab in the middle of this week, we have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. This is happening in your 5th house of self-expression. So for you guys, Cancer, you may find that expressing yourself and sort of standing out from the crowd becomes difficult when Mercury goes retrograde. You're very passionate about certain things in your life. You may, how might this play out for you guys? Okay, so for you guys, Cancer, again, expressing yourself may be a bit of a challenge. You may have communication mishaps and misunderstandings with romantic partners or with children. So be careful how you communicate. Watch what you say. You're already going to feel like you're not being understood, but make sure that you at least try to communicate as clearly as possible so that you can at least alleviate the amount of misunderstandings that can possibly happen. Mercury retrograde is also a great time to reevaluate things. So this is a great time to rethink some of those romantic relationships, rethink how you relate to your children if you have any. It's a great time for that. Mercury retrograde isn't like this doom and gloom that pop culture may make you think it is. It's really a time of reflection and really a time of reorganization, remembering, and reexamination. So use that energy for that. And then finally, at the end of the week, we have a new moon in Libra, which is happening in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. And new moons are all about planting a seed that you want to see grow. It's a time of setting new intentions. But I say that with a caveat because this new moon is going to be square to the Great Conjunction. So again, any steps that you're taking towards starting something new, initiating something new in your life is going to be met with resistance at this time. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least try. It just means that things might be a little hard. It may be a little harder for things to take shape and take form and move forward at this time. But this being in your house of home and domestic affairs, there may be a new home that you're looking to get into. So you may start planting the seeds for that. Mending family relationships, particularly close family relationships, or even relationships with people that you live with. So being that the Great Conjunction is in your house of relationships, maybe you want to start mending the relationship that you have with your live-in partner. That is also something that you may want to manifest under this new moon. Again, it's going to be met with resistance and it's going to be a little challenging, but it's still worth taking the effort. For some of you, it may have to do with property or real estate. So maybe you want to purchase a property. Maybe you want to start a home renovation or something like that. Those are all great things that you can start to manifest under the new moon in Libra. But being that Libra is a relationship sign, I feel like it's mending and working on close relationships. I think that might be how that really hits home for you, Cancer. All right. And then the following week on October 22nd, we have the sun moving into Scorpio. And for you guys, that's going to illuminate your 5th house of self-expression. So you're going to start, but I feel like your energy and your thoughts are going to be directed towards having fun, towards sports and entertainment, towards children, towards things that you really love. First of all, the sun loves the 5th house. That's number 1. Number 2, it's always great to take some leisure time. It's always great to take a break. So it's always great to do things that you love because that's what gives you energy. And the sun is all about energy. It's all about energy and vitality. So having fun this month, especially with everything that's going on, there's a lot of heavy energy in the air. It's really important for you in particular, Cancer. Once Scorpio season hits, have fun. If you're able to, celebrate Halloween by maybe going to a party, maybe dressing up, going trick-or-treating, whatever it is, it might really help you to do that. I feel like it's going to energize you, Regardless, whatever it is, find what you love and do it during Scorpio season, because it's going to give you that energy in order to do other things in your life right now. And then finally, we close out the month of October with another full moon. So we started the month with a full moon. We're ending the month with a full moon. And this full moon is on Halloween. How appropriate, right? And it's going to be in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house of friendship and goals. Now, this full moon is going to be conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus is the planet of surprise. It's the planet of revolution. So this full moon may illuminate something that may be very astonishing or surprising to you, particularly as it relates to your friends, or maybe a goal or a wish that you have for your life. So again, it might illuminate something that you may be working on with friends, or something having to do with a friend may come to fruition under the light of the full moon. For others of you, it may illuminate something that's been hidden from you with respect to friends. And if it's something that's, that's going to be uncovered, it's probably going to be very surprising and astonishing. So brace yourself. Expect the unexpected with this full moon in Taurus happening on October 31st. And that's how we close out the month. So that's been the astro forecast for you guys, Cancer. Let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you for this month. All right, so we're going to start off with the oracle cards, and then we'll circle back with the tarot for some more specific messages. But interestingly enough, Cancer, when I was shuffling for you, I got this message that came through clear as day. Some of you have been really triggered. The phrase I heard was shots fired. Some of y'all got really triggered and lost your shit over something. I feel like it has to do with relationships, because that's where y'all have the great conjunction. That's where things are really tense right now. That's where you're I'm like tongue-tied. And I feel like that's how you got too. I feel like some of y'all got so angry over something that y'all lost your shit. Y'all couldn't even talk straight. Like y'all were stuttering. You were just like the water in the pot had finally boiled, and it like erupted because y'all got triggered with something. So I hope that y'all are okay. I hope y'all didn't do anything that could hurt yourself or anybody else. All I heard shots fired, and y'all just like lost it. So hopefully y'all are good. But let's see if that has to do with anything else that Spirit has to say for you. And I don't mean to laugh. It's just that the way that it came up was just, it was literally an eruption. I was shuffling the cards and they erupted everywhere. And the one card that flipped up said triggered. And I'm like, okay, y'all, someone pushed that button of yours and you guys went the fuck off. You really did. So again, hope that y'all are okay. Hope that your partner's okay. People around you are okay. So yeah, definitely wanted to let you guys know that off the bat. But let's get into the cards and let's get into it. Okay, follow your hearts. This is what I said about the 5th house. I feel like a lot of you are, when the sun goes into Scorpio, it's going to go into your 5th house. And you guys really need to follow your heart. This is 13-4. Following your heart is going to lead to stability. Especially if this has to do with relationships, where it's like your relationship sector is like an earthquake right now. It's like the ground beneath you is shifting rapidly and a lot. And I feel like it's following your heart that's going to allow you to enjoy stability. Particularly once Scorpio season starts and throughout Scorpio season. Then we have deep knowing. Y'all are intuitive. As a water sign, Cancer, you guys are intuitive and you're psychic. So I feel like you guys know this already. I feel like I'm almost preaching to the choir. But not only do you not know, you already know what I'm saying. But I feel like you already know how this is going to turn out. Or you already know which direction to go in. You see, this looks like a highway sign, right? You know that you have to follow your heart, and you know where your heart is going to lead you. But I feel like some of you are very hesitant because your emotions may be all over the place. Do not equate your emotions for your heart. I'm getting this message loud and clear right now. Your heart is different from your emotions. When you're feeling a lot of things, and y'all, again, you guys as a water sign, you guys feel things a lot. Your heart is not your emotions. Do not be led by your emotions. Be led by your heart. What you are passionate about, what you love. That is what you have to lead with, not how you're feeling. Because if your feelings are any indication on where you're going, you might be going in the opposite direction. Because like I said, something triggered y'all and y'all popped the fuck off. Those are your emotions, not your heart. Follow your heart. We've got self-esteem. And it says, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Some of you are feeling less than worthy. I feel like there's a particular relationship in your life that has you feeling less than worthy. At the beginning of the month, Venus started out in your second house, and your second house is all about things that you value. It's about money, it's about material possessions, but it's about things that you value. And I feel like typically you guys are pretty confident because Leo is your second house. So you're very confident. You lead with your heart. You typically are someone who is led by your heart, but I feel like the upheaval you've been going in relationships has made your self-esteem take a hit. Your self-esteem has taken a hit, and that's maybe why you may not know which way to go. Your head may not know which way to go. Your heart knows, and you know that on a deep level. That Cancerian knowledge that you guys possess does not come from your head. It comes from your soul. And deep in your soul, you know that you need to follow your heart, and you know that you should. But because of all the upheaval in your relationships, your self-esteem has taken a hit. And because you value yourself so much, and you value your self-esteem, it has you not knowing which way to go. That's why you need to follow your heart this month, because following your heart is also going to get you back to yourself. I'm hearing. It's also going to get you back to yourself. So it's imperative that you follow your heart this month, especially once Scorpio season. I feel like this message is like end of October and throughout Scorpio season for you guys. So not only do you need to follow your heart, you also need to have fun. Cancer, have fun. It's going to get you back to yourself. It's going to re-energize yourself, and it's going to get your self-esteem back to where it needs to be. Forgiveness. 9 and 6 make 15. 1 and 5 make 6. Yeah. In your relationships, forgiveness is required right now. But first, you need to forgive yourself. Like this self-esteem card is like blaring at me right now. Forgive yourself. And then forgive your partner. Forgiveness does not mean that you stay together. Again, with the great conjunction in your relationship sector, Cancer, I feel like when everything is said and done, the relationship that you may be in right now you may not continue with it. But regardless of however the situation ends, you need to end on a note of forgiveness. Both of you. Forgive yourself and forgive this other person. Opportunity. See, doesn't this look like gold coins falling from the sky? There's an opportunity here that I feel is going to come to you. Not only when you follow your heart, but it's going to come to you when you're doing something fun. When you're doing something that from your heart and having fun, there's going to be an opportunity there. Seriously. And I feel like it's going, remember how I said like having fun is going to give you that energy to do what you need to do? I feel like it's also going to it's also going to breathe a new breath of life into your relationships. It's going to breathe a new breath of life into your relationships, Cancer. That's why I feel like it's imperative for you guys to have fun and follow your heart, particularly during Scorpio season. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what messages we have here. We start out with 10 of Swords. And I feel like you guys have really gone through it. But the worst is over. For some of you, this isn't a marriage. And again, somebody said something that really triggered you, or you said something that really triggered your partner. And someone feels really hurt, almost betrayed by what was said. And forgiveness, if you notice this card, we have the scales of balance at the top. Forgiveness is what's going to balance the scales. But someone was really hurt and betrayed by something that was said. Let's get some more cards out here. Okay. We've got the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is all about defensive energy. I feel like as a result of what was said, you and your partner are at odds. And even if you're not at odds, like let's say, by being at odds, I mean like some of you guys aren't speaking to each other right now. But for others of you, I feel like you guys are speaking, especially if you live with this person, you guys are speaking, you guys are going through the motions, but y'all have these walls up, these guards up that are just, it's almost as if you guys are separated in a sense. You guys are so guarded and so defensive and almost ready to pop off at a moment's notice. Is sort of where you guys are at right now in your relationship. And then we have the Hanged Man. And I feel like the Hanged Man is a timeout. But it's not a timeout in the sense that you guys break up. I don't see that happening. I see the timeout being you, Cancer, particularly doing what it is that you love. Remember I said you got to take the time out to play. Have fun. That's where this opportunity is going to come from. And that is also going to give you the space to see things from a different perspective. Because by playing, by following your heart, by doing something that you love, it's like you're going to activate your heart chakra. And when you activate your heart chakra, it allows you to see things from a standpoint of forgiveness. I feel like that's what makes forgiveness possible. Because you're having fun, because you are in your heart space, your heart becomes activated. See, because look at this heart. This heart was being pierced by this broken sword. Something was said that broke somebody's heart. And playing and doing things that you enjoy on an individual level. It's not like you two have to get together and do something together. I feel like it's you, Cancer, that has to do something by yourself that you love. Have fun. Play. It's going to mend your heart and it's going to activate your heart chakra. And that's going to get you to see things in a different perspective. Because like I said, y'all popped off on this person. Like someone was seeing red. And it's not just for a moment. I feel like, you know when a bull sees red and it just charges forward? I feel like you've been seeing red for a while. And stepping back, doing what you love, having fun is going to put that red down. Like it's, you know, they usually wave a red cloth in front of the bull, right? By doing what you love, by having fun, that red cloth is going to be removed and you're not going to be seeing red anymore. And your heart chakra is going to become activated. That's where you're going to find forgiveness. And that's when you're going to see things from a different perspective. Perhaps a perspective where your self-esteem is now intact. And now you know what it is that you need to do to mend this relationship. Or maybe end it all together. But it's going to give you that clarity that you're going to need in order to mend this situation. And like I said before, Cancer, your wisdom does not come from your head. It comes from your soul. And when you activate your heart chakra, that's the knowledge that you're going to start to activate. It's going to get you to see things in a different perspective so you can move on from this relationship or move on to fix this relationship. Let's get another card here. It's not lost on me because I just happened to see this. Yeah, we've got the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. This is a romantic relationship. I mean, it's evident by what I've been saying, but to me, that's just confirmation of what I've been saying and talking about. All right, let's get another card here. Ace of Pentacles. This is the card of opportunity. This is the card of good fortune. It's this energy. And as if I can't say it enough, I'll say it again. Have some fun. Follow your heart. Play like a kid. The 5th house is all about children, and it's about that childlike energy. That's what you need to have right now. Do something fun. Opportunity is going to find you if you are in that space. If you're in that heart space and you see this cross in the middle of this card, it's going to mend your heart. So do it. Let's get another card here. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, and the fact that it's under this 7 of Wands lets me know that it's like you've been going round and round and round with this person. It's day and night. It's like sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad, and this is the energy that you feel like you've been stuck in forever. And it's also like that's why you guys are so guarded, because you're tired of going through the motions with this person. But things will change, whether you want them to or not. Because like I said, the Great Conjunction is in your 7th house of relationships. So your relationship is going to change regardless, whether you want them to or not. But it's up to you as to how you approach this change. You can let it run you, or you can approach it from a place of understanding, of deep knowing, so you can move accordingly and be happy. The choice is yours. Let's get one last card here. We've got the 10 of Wands. Okay, so yeah, so it's like you guys, oh, I get it. By having fun and following your heart, that burden that you feel like you've been carrying, because I feel like some of you feel like you've been carrying your relationships. And that's very typical of Cancer, because you guys are nurturers. Whatever it is that you have in your life, you guys nurture, especially when it comes to relationships. You guys are the nurturers, and that can be a heavy burden to carry, especially if you feel like you've been back and forth with someone and things haven't been working out. Again, by following your heart, having fun, having that childlike energy, you're going to drop all those burdens. It's not going to feel like a burden to you anymore. And I feel like some of you are going to start holding your partners accountable for their shit in the relationship. Because again, y'all can really carry a relationship. And that may look like you not holding your partner accountable. That's why you feel like you're carrying all these sticks. Following your heart is not only going to make you drop all those burdens, but you're going to see that now you've got to share those burdens with your partner. Things have to be in balance. But it's only by following your heart that you're going to understand and implement this. Let's see what this opportunity is here. I'm interested to know. I'm sure you are too. What is this opportunity that will arise? Ooh. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. It's a gift. Could be a material gift because this is Pentacles. So you could be getting a physical gift, but it's just going to be, and it's a surprise. You don't know what it's going to be. It's wrapped up. Spirit doesn't want me to tell you what it is. They're not going to show me. But just know by doing everything that I'm talking about right now, you will be rewarded. That's the thing. The thing about Saturn and the thing about Jupiter. Jupiter is the giver of gifts naturally. Saturn also gives gifts too, but only if you've done the work. You only get a gold star if you've done your homework and if you've done it correctly, arguably. So when everything is said and done, you will get a gift, Cancer. Especially once 2020 hits and the Great Conjunction starts moving out of your relationship sector, you're going to be left with a gift. But the lesson that you need to learn and the homework that you need to do is following your heart. Following your heart, and by doing that, you will be rewarded. I don't even feel like I need to clarify anything else because it's so clear. You're on a new journey. Either with yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to be like centered so you can see it. You're on a new journey, either with yourself or with your partner. Some of you may, like I said before, this relationship won't endure. And you are going to be on a new journey. But by following your heart, you are going to attract people that are on your wavelength. And you're going to attract people that are balanced. That's one. But if your relationship actually does endure, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. But again, you've got to do the work, Cancer. And you will be rewarded for it. Let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading. We've got the Ascendant. Interesting. The Ascendant in astrology is your worldview, and it's how people view you. Now, to know your particular Ascendant, you need to look at your natal chart, and you need to know exactly where and at what time you were born. So your Ascendant is different for everyone. Every Cancer has a different Ascendant, but you need to look at your birth chart and look at your Ascendant. Look at the sign and the degree. I really feel like it'll clue you in to this reading. The message of this reading has a lot to do with your Ascendant, so look it up. And a great resource to look it up at is astro.com. Go to astro.com and look up your natal chart and look at your Ascendant and the degree. Let's get another card here. We've got Chiron healing, and Chiron is currently in your 10th house. So for some of you, I feel like this directly has to do with your Ascendant, because your Ascendant is your outlook on life, and Chiron being in your house of public affairs, your public life, there's some healing that has to be done there. I feel like that's a side message. But again, your public life, your reputation perhaps, your career, that's all being healed right now. For some of you, that's not for all of you. Let's get one last card out here. We've got Sagittarius. I feel like some of you may be in a relationship with a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also your 6th house. But more so than anything else, a lot of you may be in a relationship with a Sagittarius or just like a fire sign. Okay. Or the person that you are with right now has a lot of Sagittarian-like qualities, and I'm drawn to risk-taking. I feel like perhaps the person that you are in a relationship with is a real risk type person. They also be maybe very blunt with how they speak to you. Maybe that's why you or this other person popped off, or someone was really heartbroken because someone was very tactless in how they communicate with you. So keep that in mind. But like I said, Cancer, to close out your reading, follow your heart this month. That's the only message. Follow your heart. Do what you love. Have fun. Opportunity will find you. Your heart will be mended. And I feel like your relationships will be better for it. All right, Cancer, that has been your Astro Forecast and Taroscope for October 2020. I sincerely hope that you guys were able to get at least one message from this reading. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those 2 links are in the description box below. Throughout the month of October, I'm offering a special on one of my tarot readings. The Messages from Spirit tarot reading is only $20 for this month. I mean, it's 50% off basically, so it's a steal. You should definitely take advantage of that, because it's just like this reading here. Rather than asking a question, Messages from Spirit tarot readings are all about the messages that Spirit has to impart upon you at that particular time. So a lot of people love this reading because rather than thinking about a question or not knowing what to ask, let Spirit tell you what you need to know. Again, those readings are $20 for the month of October, and that link is in the description box as well. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead, which is a quick and dirty tarot read and a quick and dirty astro forecast for the upcoming week. I also have some really nice content on my Instagram page, so follow me there so you don't miss any of that. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined, Cancer, and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, that link is in the description box as well. Cancer, my loves, it is a privilege and an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.